Welcome YouTube, welcome Facebook. I got something quick I want to show you. There you go. Science Magazine. It is dated October 2016. It's $15 a copy. This is the magazine that like PhDs and all the scientists around the world, they read. The reason I know it is because the PhD chemist at my job, Dr. D, is the one who gives me these things. So, the first half is usually basic scientific articles and, various things that the science community is doing in the world today. The whole last part of it is all their actual, scientific papers and graphs and, stuff that most of us would never understand in our life, dude. It's way out there, dude. It's like too many numbers and shit and stuff we don't understand. But I happen to be thumbing through an old episode here, an old issue, just because of the fact that they're starting to spray that weird shit in the air here in my town that cause all them bee deaths and shit, dude. Like in California, San Jose, and in Brazoria, Texas, and so I went and pulled up an old issue because they say they're spraying for mosquitoes. And in this particular issue, it actually talks about that they are geoengineering mosquitoes, winged warriors, two different types, and Brazil plans to release billions of designer mosquitoes to stop the spread of infectious disease. Will it work? And it goes on to talk about that they have genetically engineered one type that will not reproduce. So once they infect, they just keep dying off. And the other type is that they have shut off some kind of genes that the diseases like malaria and whatever the hell else they come up with, and they fucking, the mosquitoes get a hold of it, they're not able to transmit it to humans. Wow. So I went back and re-looked at this. I was like, all right, let's see how this works. Is that something that they're planning on doing here? Is that what they have done here? Who knows? That's not my point. It's not what I found. I'm just trying to give you a history background of why and how I went looking for this. Let's see. There we go. I got 4 bookmarks. I'm just trying to get to the other one. Alright. So, going through the research and data set side, the side that I understand partly, but they throw complicated shit in there just for people like you and me to not understand. I've even found things in my job that the way they write it up mathematically, I can put it back into algebra and it makes perfect sense, and you only got A, B, C, and D, basic algebra, but they want to put all these Greek letters and all this complicated crap. I've proved my algebraic, simple high school math does the same thing as some of their complicated formulas. So, that said, we'll just move on. This is what I found. Let me tell you what it is before I give you the bombshell. I know it's backwards, or maybe it's backwards to me, but I'll tell you what it says. Role for migratory wild birds in the global spread of an avian influenza H5N8. You remember that shit, dude, last year? That was the big scare. And what do we see as their model for the findings of the migratory flights of birds? It's flat Earth, motherfuckers. It's flat Earth. In a goddamn science magazine. It's flat Earth all goddamn day long. Their true findings in the most complicated fucking part of the magazine, and most people wouldn't look at. I happened to research it for the hell of it. Flat Earth, motherfuckers. Flat fucking Earth in a goddamn science magazine. But wait, there's more. In the same magazine, this one kind of really threw me a bit off. All right, yeah, this one kind of threw me a bit off. Put it that way, dude. Come on, god damn it. It's worth it. Just stick with me, dude. Here you go. The myths of CRISPR, an optimistic outlook on gene editing, seeks to reconcile scientific progress with wisdom from humanities. Got a picture of a buff Jesus statue, dude, with chains hanging off his arms. What the fuck is that? I actually don't have a comment on this one other than that's kind of fucked up. Something's just weird about that altogether, and I want people to look at it and possibly comment and like, what the fuck is that? Why is that the main picture in the fucking article? I got one last one and then I'll let you guys go. This is what I really found odd. They already put the flat earth in the goddamn magazine. And with Jesus as a buff fucking like slave. But then they want to put a fucking fake article about. Here, let me give you the page before I go off on my rant. All right. Science-based management in decline in Southern Ocean. The burden of proof is being turned upside down. The commission has a critical window of opportunity to uphold its status as a leader in resource management. Yada, 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 yada. But it's the fake map of fucking Antarctica, and it's showing you the boundaries. Like, if you actually look this shit up, it's showing you the boundaries where you can go and where you can't go. Yeah, like, let's see. We're talking about, like, you know, how much fish and, let's see, the toothfish, the krill, tack. There's some other ones, but they're putting, like, limitations on where you can fish, how much you can take, it's just more and more boundaries, even on the fake model that they just showed in a science magazine with the real model of the flat earth. Slave Jesus with a fucking six-pack. Boundaries on a fake continent that doesn't fucking exist because of fish. Mosquitoes that are genetically modified. 2 different ways to see which company gets the contract. Welcome to the New World Order, fuckers. I'm just here to, I don't know, find every little piece I can. I get a lot of pieces of people on Facebook, YouTube, things like that. I think that's what our community needs to do. There's not really much we can do as regular human citizens. Even when we do a march, Hell, they got way bigger weapons than we could ever have. We do a peaceful march, we might get some news coverage. All we can do is basically wake each other's minds up. When you find things, wake each other's minds up. That's all you can do. We're all mental state anyway, living in a body of meat. That's really our only power, is to keep waking each other up. Because you may believe, like, I know exactly 100%, but then you watch a couple of fucking McDonald's commercials, dude, and you're like, well, maybe not. Or you watch a movie, or, you watch the news too many times, and all the research and everything that was in your mind is gone out the window because now you started to question yourself. Well, just like this. Well, they got this map, and, they got shit sectioned off, and, they've tracked migratory, fishing vessels and shit like that. You go online, you're like, well, I can, pay $5,000 and either go to Argentina or Melbourne, Australia, and I could take a flyby, trip to Antarctica. I could take a 21-day cruise around Antarctica. I don't see the 120-foot ice walls. Maybe they're not taking you to Antarctica. They're just taking you somewhere it snows a lot.